According to Apple's billion user chart, in 2016, Apple users was at its highest peak. But the interesting thing is at the same time, Apple went to loss, or Apple got less profit than last year in 2016 with its user being so high. But why? So, Apple sold 224 million of iPhone 6 series in 2015, but only 78.4 million of iPhone 7 series in 2016. Now we can see a huge dramatic change here, but comparing it to Samsung's flagship of 2015, the S6 Edge and S6, they sold about 10 million units in the first month. Now we can see the huge dominance of Apple in the market. But even comparing iPhone 6 series and iPhone 7 series, there is about 150 million units less sold in 2016. But the interesting part is the company Apple, earned only 19 billion less profit with the huge number gap, even though they earned 19.4 billion less profit. Now, that's something really amazing. But in 2020, what Apple earned from iPhone 12 only was $169.9 billion dollars just from iPhone 12. And iPhone 12 is being so successful that it's still earning in 2021, and it has earned over 100 billion dollar revenue in 2021 alone. Now, most of the revenue of Apple comes from iPhone, which is 50%, but that's a huge number because Apple, as we know, is a really big company. It is a $2 trillion company with it a lot of sub brands and a lot of different products than this iPhone. But also, this iPhone is able to generate around 50% of Apple's whole income. Now, three things to take away from this, what I said earlier, is iPhone 6, iPhone 7, and iPhone 12. Now, let me just say one thing. The 2 trillion might not sound that intimidating, but comparing it in days of counting, 1 million is 12 days. A billion is 36 years, but a trillion is 31,346 years, which you can see is a huge number gap, and $1 trillion company, it's a really big company. So what did iPhone, or let's say Apple, did in iPhone 6 series that made it so successful, but what did they do in iPhone 7 series that dropped its rate, and what happened after iPhone 7 series, and why is iPhone 12 series such a boom, or let's say a great hit? So from what I said above, it looks like iPhone 7 got a really bad name for it, but iPhone 7 is not a bad phone. It's a really well built phone, and it's got a lot of things that we still need and is still practically usable in 2021. Even though Samsung S6 or those phones are nearly extinct now, not literally but logically. So, what did iPhone 7 did wrong which caused it to be so game changing, or let's say so driving Apple to loss? First thing is the design. Now, just I need to say one thing. If you gave me iPhone 6s and iPhone 7 covering this down part, because the down part doesn't have headphone jack, if you cover these both parts and give it to me, I will not be able to distinguish between iPhone 7 and iPhone 6s. It's that same. It's got same 4.7-inch display, same display LCD, even though a better quality LCD is still a LCD, and it's got the same camera layout, it's got the same design, and what they changed is the physical button from the haptic button here. So that's something plus point. But that was not much tempting to buy, or let's say make people buy from iPhone 6s to iPhone 7, because it was practically the same phone. Yes, you get a better chip. Yes, you get a better speakers, stereo speakers, and yes, you get a little bit better cameras. But the little bit better, was it worth a $649 purchase at 2016, where literally their rival Samsung was creating bleeding edge curved displays? While they were innovating such stuff, what did Apple do? They brought the same old design back but tweaked it some new features. So I think that's the first reason that this phone got a bad rep and made the company go in loss. Now, secondly, is the removal of headphone jack. Now, as you can see from this phone, it does not have headphone jack, and it might not seem new right now, but I still remember when Apple removed the headphone jack, everybody was really shocked because at the time in 2016, many people used wired, or let's say everybody used wired headphones because true wireless earbuds were not at that time, or let's say not popular at that time. Even let's say it was not manufactured at the time until Apple came in with their AirPods Pro or AirPods, which caused them to remove a headphone jack, which made a lot of people depressed because at 2016 uh, Apple did not have that big of a name, and people were not ready to spend huge amount of money in a device that they don't even know what difference they have in from the past generation. So that is also one reason many people did not buy this phone. And the third thing can be there was not a much improvement than last year. Now, as I've said about the design and creativity, that's the same here. But let's look into different new aspects here. If you see in this phone, you can see the same old design, true, but the camera they say they have improved a lot, and the chip 30% more or 15% more. But when it comes to practical use, it's practically the same. There is not much difference, which makes it really awkward to buy a new phone even when you don't have to. So this is the first reason, or let's say the one and only reason, that iPhone 7 went to loss and was sold 150 million units less. Because iPhone 6 is, at the time when it was released, its competitors were releasing S6, or sorry, S5 series of Samsung, which was a great phone, but it never came close to iPhone because iPhone was iPhone at that time, because it was the fastest, it was the most smoothest, it looked the most premium, and its design was, as you know, iPhone 6s jumped from the boxy design to the slimmer looking design, which made it a lot more better in my perception. So that's that. Now, but what did they improve after iPhone 6s, or let's say after iPhone 7 and iPhone 12, that made it earn over 300 billion? Now, that's a lot of revenue by Apple, and it's the most they have earned till now in 2021. And what was there in Apple's iPhone 12 that just ended the defects of iPhone 7. So, guys, this part is not scripted. So, firstly, I would like to thank you guys for 100 subscribers. Yes, I was not there at that point because I had certain studies to complete at that time, so I could not be able to make videos. And yes, I know 100 subscribers is the first milestone, and it's I heard many people that 100 subscribers was really hard to get, and I'm really happy to achieve this milestone. And yeah, I'm really happy about that. And secondly, I'm building a website about these all this video that I make. I want to type it down and make it into a website, and I'm still new at this. So if you guys have any tips or any ideas for me, please leave it down in the comments below. And if I get my domain till tonight, or let's say till I finished editing this video, I'll be sure to leave it in the description below, or even here if I get the domain name on time before this video is released. And again, guys, thank you for 100 subscribers. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? I post these tech related contents and a lot of videos. I try to upload every week, and yeah, that's what I try to do. But subscribe to the channel and like the video, guys. So now, after discussing why iPhone 7 was not the most sold phone, or why it made the Apple go to loss, Apple is again at rise due to iPhone 12. Now, what did iPhone 12 have that this sucker did not have? Of course, due to the huge year gap, there has been a huge improvements like in display, in the stereo speakers too, but not much difference actually. Actually, even if you're talking about the camera, iPhone 12 has a huge upgrade. But if you are clicking photos in normal lighting conditions, you might find not bigger difference, because at the time I used iPhone 12 cameras, what I saw was the thing that iPhone 12 was most good at than iPhone 7 was exposure control, because of this phone's camera, or let's say because it's an old technology that is to be expected, it does not handle exposures well, whereas iPhone 12's camera and iPhone 11's camera system handle exposures very well. So that's the main difference that I found. And other than that, the display is OLED, of course. There's a huge lot changes, and the thing why many people are buying iPhone 12 was it's completely a new thing from iPhone 11. Because if you bought iPhone 11, let me say, imagine I bought iPhone 11, then how many years would I use it for? Around 5 years. I would have that target because, or let's say minimum of 2 years, I would have that target. But what iPhone 12 brought was 5G, your new durabilities, your new scanners, and your new technologies that made iPhone 11 a bit irrelevant. Now, if you're in a backward company or uh, developing country, then 5G would not be a big role. But if you're in a developed country, 5G will play a huge role in that because you would need 5G a lot of times there, and having not 5G would be really hard. But it's not a major difference. What the major difference that I think uh, iPhone 12, iPhone 10 brought to the market that caught everyone's attention towards this from this iPhone 7 series was the size of the display. Now, if you notice, this was a 4.7-inch display, and this Plus series was 5.5-inch display. Now, compare that to the latest technology of 6.9-inch display, even 7-inch display by Samsung, by Xiaomi. This looks merely nothing actually, this display. It looks like nothing. But what iPhone did was created a Max series, an iPhone 12 Pro Max. It takes 2 seconds to just to click a night mode photo, so that's something that I didn't knew, but that's something to be noted down. But what iPhone 12 did was its Pro version was so let's say big in size or sufficient in size that many people who needed a lot of size to do a lot of different tasks in their phones was the phone became eligible for them to buy too. So that thing also made a huge aspect on why iPhone 12 is the most buyed. And another thing is the chipset. Now, let me say this. If you have a A13 Bionic chip or A14 Bionic chip, you don't need any new phone for at least 5 years. At least, because those chips are very powerful, and if you compare side by side with Snapdragon 888 SoC and iPhone 12's A14 Bionic chip, if I had to put my bet, Snapdragon 888 would last a maximum of, now I'm talking about full use, of around 6 years or 5.5 years. Then that SoC would be kind of really hard to use. But if we're talking about Apple's A14 Bionic chip, it can be used for around 7 years. Now, I'm not talking about it can run all the latest games or anything, but I'm talking about the performance that it can last or multitasking that we needed for it to last. Now, this is a huge factor actually because phone's durability is one thing and phone's accessibility is another thing. And if your phone is accessible for a long time, then I think that's a major thing you need to find in this phone rather than the specs, because I've seen a lot of phones with Snapdragon 662. 662 is a mediocre chip which has Antutu score of about 130,000. It's not a much of a great chip, and a lot of phones with better chips like let's say Snapdragon 732G or 730G, and in some cases this Snapdragon 662 performs well because of the optimizations and the chips tendency with the software and other factors too. So this plays a major role. So that is why I think iPhone 12 is has sold more units than iPhone 7 because of the versatility that it offered than changing from iPhone 7. Now I can also say that iPhone 7 was a gateway because before iPhone 7 and 7 Plus designs, you can see until 2016, iPhone had a compact design, a small design, a fit in the hand design. But after 2016, at 2017, they launched iPhone X, which showed a full screen display, and they kept going with that, which actually became a new era of iPhone phones because it was really completely newly designed, which made a lot of let's say customers like me to buy iPhone X and above series. So this also acted as a gateway, and this was also a slightly less designed phone than last year, in my view. But that's just my view. So now, in a nutshell, what I think really is Apple, whenever they try to not do something new, or let's say they did not brought anything new to the table, there was not much success in the phone like iPhone 7. It sold a lot of units, but not as its other competitors, or let's say not competitors, its old iPhone generations, because this sucker sold a lot more than their competitors. And what I think is why Apple is getting all the backward stuff, or let's say they still even don't have a fingerprint and face unlock both in a phone, is because they're running out of features to add on the phone. Now, let's say this. You have a new iPhone 13, which, if you guys want to, I'll make a video on that because I've gathered a lot of information about that and it might be quite interesting too. Now, if you have iPhone 13, which does not have any new features, or let's say just added a bit of good display, a better display, a bit of good haptic, and sold out iPhone 13. Now, who would buy that phone if you have to be serious? There might be someone who would buy the phone, but there wouldn't be much. Now, this time, Apple is trying to bring 120 hertz in iPhone 13 as a something new feature so that people would be more generous, or let's say people would like to buy the phone. And in iPhone 14, I think they would bring a fingerprint back. So that's the trend that Apple's keeping going. That Apple is kept going, and I think they've learned from this iPhone 7 mistake that same designs don't actually add up, because this is not a bad phone, but due to its same old design and same features, this phone did not get as much fame and as much spotlight as iPhone 6 is. So, in conclusion, I would like to say if you're thinking of buying any new phone right now or any new iPhone, I would suggest you not to buy an iPhone because it's 2 months left and iPhone 13 is about to come out. And iPhone 13 is going to bring something new to the table, something new that the old iPhone did not have, because that's the trend that Apple likes to keep up going so that their phones never run out of business, of course. And even if you're going to buy iPhone 12, you're gonna not get it. You're not gonna get it for less than $100 cheap. Or if the phone was $1,000, you're not gonna get it for 990. Sorry, $900, because iPhone has a very good resale value. Of course, I'm talking about brand new. So I think I would say you to wait for around 2-3 months, then you can buy iPhone 13, because iPhone 13 will of course have something new. And if you want me to cover on that topic, please leave it down in the comments below, and please leave something about what I should improve on the website. And if I get my domain name, I'll be going live with the website and I'll be keeping it down in the description below. So be sure to follow that. And what videos would you like me to do more? Comment down below, because yeah, right now I'm thinking of uploading video every week or every twice a week. So thank you for watching, guys, and peace out.